Hey guys, welcome to Sippin' and Spillin' with Sid from 3 Mississippi. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good day so far, beginning of December here. Um, Man, it's really starting to feel like Christmas time. I know it's not winter yet, but we've had our first couple of frosts and freezes and definitely had to deal with the whole hose situation the last few days. We are supposed to get like a little bit of rain and some warmer temps over the next couple days. Like I think it's supposed to get into the 50s. Right now it's 50 right now. But at night and during most of the day, it's been like 40s, and then I know it's supposed to dip down more. Before I know it, we're going to be in the 30s during the day, and a few days where we're in the 20s, and then it'll be colder and colder and colder. Looks like Frankie's just getting home on the bus. I didn't realize how late it was, but it is what it is. Been been just kind of plugging away on the computer today, taking care of some things and getting some things in order. Last night was a big night. I'm still probably recovering from it. We have our annual town Christmas parade, and our church does a like soup night. Basically, we open up our family life center, and a bunch of our congregation contribute. They make soup and bring it, and then we serve the community. Some people just from our congregation, and some people just from within the community. And it's one of my favorite things. I actually took it over last year. The gal that started it and had kept it going for so many years decided it was too much for her. She didn't want to do it anymore. She actually is the previous owner of this house, like several owners ago, but this used to be her land. So when we moved her here, that's when I first met her. But anyway, so she kind of passed it along to me, and I've been, this is now my second time doing it on my own, or being in charge of it, I guess. And last year was my first year doing it, so I added a hot chocolate bar and a wassail bar, which is what they call hot cider out here. I can't get anybody to explain to me why they call it wassail, but it seems to be a very localized thing to our particular town. So it's just one of those weird little quirks. The South has some interesting names for things, and when you get into certain communities, it's even more so. So it's kind of funny. But anyway, so I had that added, and a little coffee bar and stuff like that that I've done. So seems to go well. It's always a hit. The kids love it. The last year I did set up a photo booth. My friend has one, and we used that, but I didn't set that up this year. But anyway, I was at church like all day. I was making soup the night before. We'd had our big Bunko Christmas party, all the Bunko gals at Beth's house, and so I was out late. And then, hi, watch out. Don't walk in my tripod.
I'm walking away.
Okay. Anyway, Frankie just got home from school, and she literally was just walking like right into the tripod. But anyway, so I was out late the night before, and I still had a video to finish for Tuesday. So I had to come home and kind of, wrap that up a little bit and get that rendering. And then I came downstairs and started making the soup for the soup parade, as we call it, the parade of soup. And then I had to cart everything, all the stuff I had bought for it and everything up to the church and get that rocking and rolling. And I had several really good helpers with me throughout the part of the afternoon of the setup and then the actual event to help serve. So it was a good time, and it was a good turnout. I had a few of I'll call them church elders, church ladies that have been around for longer than I have there and have been heavily involved in things within the church. Both gave me a good thumbs up and a little pat on the back that it went well, and they were happy to see such a large turnout, and which was nice to hear, because I love, for those of you that know me or have followed along for any length of time, you know that I love to feed people. I love to make food, feed people, make them happy, make them full. One of the things that we've talked about in our church in the past is like, what is your gift? Like, what is your gift that you can share with others? And I think that my gift is tied to feeding people. I like to interact with them. I like to comfort them when I can, and have a little conversation with them and joke with them, but then I like to feed them. So that's what I do. So I tend to volunteer for things in church that have to do with serving food or feeding people or things like that. So that's kind of my jam. And anyway, so I was really, really happy with how it went off yesterday. And one of the gals said that she hadn't seen it that busy since COVID, that before, COVID, it was kind of thriving, and that was just kind of the go-to place that everybody went to before the parade. And then it kind of dropped off after COVID, because, everything kind of got weird during 2020 and the lockdown. A lot of things kind of died off. A lot of businesses were stopped. A lot of traditions kind of put on pause or died down. And so it's nice to be able to kind of revive one that the town really loves, and to make it thrive and make it a community event again, or an aspect of a community event again, is really nice. So I was happy with how it went, but it was exhausting. Is basically, you're on your feet from, I got to church at 1:30. I think we left there at like 8 o'clock. But I had been like working on it before then at home, getting the soup done and whatever, and running back and forth and finish, loading the truck and whatever. And so it was just kind of a long day of all of that. So definitely paid the price a little bit this morning. I was like, man, I'm tired. Because then I was wired when I got home. So it took me a while to like actually get to sleep and all of that. But are you comfortable, sir? If there's a lap, he needs to be in it, especially if it's my lap. He's such a good boy, huh? Just such a good boy. I know. Anyway, so I was really happy with how it all went, but I'm also glad that it is over with for the season. It's been a stressful couple of weeks trying to get everything done, getting the word out, doing the advertisements and the flyers, getting the sign made and all of that. So I was glad it went smoothly. It was a good thing. It's a good thing, and I'm glad it's over. But I'm glad it went well. So, and then I did figure out, you guys may remember the other day, I told you all that when I was going through my morning routine with Beulah May, our strong, independent woman of a horse, one of the things I do every day is brush her, partly for routine, partly to be able to check her over, because that's how it's generally when you find like any little injuries or whatever, is just kind of touching them every day, everywhere, and petting them and feeling all over them and just, checking them out. And I have this brush that I use on her like every day. It's kind of my go-to brush, right? And she has other brushes, but that's like the go-to brush, right? And it's really, really old. It was given to me by Marie at our Okie homestead. And, I've had it now for a year and a half or whatever. Anyway, I went to pick it up. This was after she kicked me. I went to pick it up and it stabbed me. It hurt. And I looked down and my finger was bleeding and I was like, what? And I'm trying to look. I'm like, is it something on the brush? Like one of the bristles? Like what? And so I was moving stuff around and I was moving it with my stuff because I was, moving feed and taking feed to this pen and whatever. And I went to pick it up again and it happened again on the other hand. And I was like, what is wrong with this brush? And so I was looking over and there's a couple spots on the side where I guess the bristles had like worn down and they became so sharp that they just I barely touched it and they stabbed me. So I think what happened was when I was brushing her with that brush that I probably came at her from the side where it was worn down. And that was part of the problem of why she kicked me. She was like, why did you just stab me? And I was like, unaware that I had stabbed her. So at least that makes me feel a little bit better. I know like the weather shifted, it was windy, it gets chilly, they tend to act up. There's, with Beulah May, there's like 27 different reasons why she could be slightly irked with you. You brought her, even though she loves carrots, if you bring her the wrong shape of carrot, sometimes that makes her mad. She doesn't like them if they've already been cut. She's very specific about her likes and dislikes, and she's not shy about letting you know what they are. And it's usually just with like a look or like like a tude, but this, like I said, this was the first time that she ever kicked me, but at least it makes sense now. Like, she kicked me because I stabbed her. It was an unintentional stabbing. And when I realized what happened, I, of course, immediately threw the brush out and apologized to her and showed her that I got her other brush out that's very soft and new, that I hadn't used on her that much. And I brushed her with it the last like 2 days, and without incident. So that's something, at least. At least I have that mystery solved, because I was like, I really thought we had made some strides, her and I. And, you know, then she kicked me. And it's a lovely horseshoe pattern of bruising. It's beautiful. It's all the colors of the rainbow. It actually doesn't hurt that bad until I forget that it's there, and like when I'm in the shower and I go to like shave my leg or scrub with soap or something, and then I'm like, ooh, I forgot. My whole leg, the entirety of the inside of my thigh is one big bruise in the shape of a horseshoe. So it's magically delicious. So there's that. But it'll fade, just like my looks and personality. It'll fade. So it is what it is. But you know, I love a good injury. I love a good injury story. I'm always finding new and interesting ways to hurt myself. It's a gift. I don't know. And the weird thing is usually when I hurt myself, there's never any evidence. It's usually like something that nobody witnessed, something that didn't leave much of a mark, or it left a mark in an area that I can't show people. And so they don't believe me. Like, even Mike, he'll be like, how did you manage to do that? Like, where did that bruise come from? And I'll be like, well, I don't know. Like, sometimes I'll have like a horrible bruise. Like, it looks like I was in a 3-car pileup, and I have no memory of falling, walking into whatever caused said bruise. It is what it is. I don't know. It's a gift. So yeah, but at least that mystery solved, and she and I are back to speaking terms. I mean, not that she wasn't ever speaking to me, and not that I wasn't speaking to her, but at least I feel better now. I think she's still a little leery, like, you stabbed me. Why'd you do that? So she's still a little irked with me, just a little bit. But seems to have mostly forgiven me for stabbing her with the brush. You know, but if something happens to me and you don't see me, just know there's a chance that Beulah got her revenge. Just know, because I wouldn't put it past her. She would grow an opposable thumb to wield a weapon just to be vindictive. I could see that. She has that kind of spark to her. Bless her. I do love that stupid horse. But anyway, she's a character. But anywho, I did give her a scone today. I had some leftover scones that were, you know, ready to be fed to the animals. And so I thought, and she's very picky. Like, she won't eat most of the things out of the garden. She'll occasionally eat an apple if it's the right color and she's in the mood. Carrots are always a yes, but she will let you know if you've cut them and she doesn't like that. She wants a whole carrot. She doesn't want a cut carrot. And she will let you know she doesn't like it. But she'll eat it anyway, but she'll do it like with a face. I don't know how she does it, but she does it. Anyway, so I gave her a cranberry scone today, and she loved that. So maybe everything will be okay. We'll see. So anyway, so that's what's going on with that. And I honestly don't, we didn't shoot anything this last weekend because of the holiday and everything. So I don't have footage that I'm currently working on for this Friday's video. So I'm not sure if I'm going to have a video for Friday. I have a short that we shot on the fence line that I might post on Friday if I don't put anything else together between now and then. And yesterday I really thought I was going to be able to film something, but I was so busy with the soup night that I filmed this much. I thought I was going to film a sippin' and spillin'. I thought I was going to film a little bit of the event. Nope. I was too busy. Did not get to. So that's a struggle bus for me right now as far as Friday's video goes. But you know, that's life. I'm hoping I'll be able to get something out. If not, at least I'll be able to get the short out. And I'm working on putting out more shorts regularly from some of our longer formats footage because some people prefer the shorter stuff versus the longer stuff. So this is a good way to I can still do my long form content and I can still put some short stuff out there. So I think I'm going to be doing that soon. Mike and I are still kind of going over it. But I think I'm going to be doing that here soon. We were doing separate shorts, but that got to be exhausting to try to film and edit everything and get everything out in a timely manner. So I think we have another way of doing that. There's all this magic software now that you can plug your stuff into and it'll spit out a video. So I think I might be incorporating some of that just as shorts, randomly through the week. So we'll see. I'm not sure yet. And then Mike did get a deer. If you saw Tuesday's video, you saw that he got his first deer of this season. So that was great. Frankie has not gotten a deer yet. They did go hunting once so far, but they have not gotten a deer together, or she, I should say, hasn't gotten a deer, but he did get a nice doe. So one down, that's good. That's one for Mike so far and 0 for Frank this season. But I know he wants to get out there and hunt with her a little bit more, obviously, before the season's over. And I hope that they'll be able to do that. Her schedule is kind of slowed down a little bit now that band is over, football season's over, all that. So she should have more, there's more evenings where she comes home on the bus after school and she's not having to stay there until I pick her up at 8 o'clock or whatever. So that'll make it easier for them to get out and hunt here and there, hopefully. Because we've got to stock up on that venison while you can for the season, right? Anyway, guys, that's all the news that I have to share with you today. I know the reason that she kicked me. The parade night went off without a hitch, if not a little exhaustion. I do feel like I'm a little sleep deprived. And Mike bagged a deer. So that's your update. There we have it. And still working on a video for Friday, hopefully. So there it is. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you. I hope you're having a blessed beginning of your week and of our Advent season here. And I hope that you remember to stay blessed and that safety